All right, welcome. My name is Frank Larkin. I am the first Mid-Atlantic PDP, Program Delivery Partner for PA East. So this is for FLL Explore for new coaches, just to kind of give you a sense of what's going to happen and what we're expecting you to do as your role as a coach. Um, First of all, we really want to thank you for getting involved as a coach. Um, because I think that this is an important program for these kids. This is going to, if I can only say that my kids all went through it starting back in 1997, 98. And I can tell you that it changed their lives. And that's one of the reasons I continue to do it. It's a great program. We emphasize as much as we can fair play and being nice to people, having conversations, and just a better world if everyone acted the way. I mean, sometimes we get a little hot headed, but not an explorer. But as the programs go on, people spend a lot of time doing this. But the point is, thank you for stepping up to the plate to do this. So, what is first? First of all, it's an organization that's stationed in New Hampshire. Um, that's where their headquarters have been ever since they got started. It really is a competitive sport. Not necessarily at this level. This level, this is like track where the kids run around the field. I mean, that's kind of like what we're going to be doing then. And it's really, really more than robotics. Robots only comes in as a way to get kids excited about getting involved. What we're trying to do is have them look at the world beyond their house, see what's out there, learn about it, comment about it, think about it. So it's really a life experience. We want to get them to think about the world and then be able to communicate to adults. That's pretty much it. It's an opportunity for kids to learn something new, to try something new. It's a community. You're going to find many, many people in our first community who are willing to give you the shirt off their back to help you get whatever it is you need to get done. So I mean, it really, really is an amazing thing to be part of. We have a bunch of different programs. First Lego League really kind of is a misnomer because First Lego League is really three different things. It starts out as Discover, and that's for kids who are pre-K. And then we go into Explore, which is ages 6 to 8. And then on to First Lego League Challenge, which is 9 to 14. Okay. Um, uh, can you? So, and then after that, they can go on to First Tech Challenge and First Robotics Competition. And those are all the upper school programs. And it's very exciting. These kids will see some of this stuff at some of these reviews or festivals that you're going to be going to see. So it's exciting for them. So this is also going to the whole purpose of this, why are we doing it, is to increase STEM awareness, increase the skills and intent. I mean, I give you an example. I'm somewhat of an amateur astronomer right now. I'm not as much because the telescopes are too big to pick up. But I was at a show, not a show, a star party, and we were looking at the sun. I had my scope out. There was a kid there, Aaron. He was 9. I said, Aaron, come over here and look at the sun. He looked at the sun, and there were sunspots on the sun. He was all very excited. And I said to him, maybe someday you could be a astrophysicist or an astronomer. And he looks at me and he goes, I don't know if I could ever be that. That would be. And I was like, Aaron, what are you kidding? You're just getting started. Of course you can do it. So that's what we're trying to do. A lot of kids, they don't understand. They're like, well, we're going to show them and we're going to try to get them involved. All right. Innovation and entrepreneurship. Give a kid an idea. Hey, I could build this. And you go, all right, let's go. And you get a chance for these kids to meet experts in the field. Um, by the time they get into high school, they're going to be unstoppable. 21st century life skills. I mean, I can't tell you all the kids who I know as they move up. They know how to CAD, they know how to program, they know how to this, they know how to that, they know how to work with metal, and they haven't even finished high school. And that's really great. And even for those kids that maybe can't do that, they can solve problems, critical thinking, all of that time management to try to get things done in a short amount of time. All of these are great things that a kid gets to learn. And you're here to help us. Now, these screens show all kinds of benefits, and this was back in 2011. I haven't seen any of these come out yet. They're still in this presentation because I don't have anything better. But we absolutely see the first alum kids going on to do things in engineering and science and technology. And even if they don't, they still remember the days they were with us during this program. So it's a great program, right? Again, these numbers are old, and the numbers have only gotten bigger since. All right, so who are we? First, as I said, is an organization based in New Hampshire, and they run this out of New Hampshire around the world. Okay, First Mid Atlantic is a 501c3 nonprofit that was created back in 2011. I was actually on the first board of directors. And we created it because First gave us a license to run First programs in New Jersey, Delaware, and Eastern Pennsylvania. Actually, the only one they gave us the license for was FRC, First Robotic Competition. In 2019, FMA hired me as I retired as an engineer from Comcast, and they hired me as the first Lego League director for the Mid-Atlantic for their footprint in FLL. At the time, it was only PA East. It has since been PA East and New Jersey North, and between them, we have about 500 FLL challenge teams and almost 150 explore teams. So we have quite a bit of teams under the footprint. And see the map. I put the map here because people don't really understand kind of like where everything is. But this is us, PA East and New Jersey North. Around us are other programs: Southern New Jersey, Delaware, Central Pennsylvania, Northeast Pennsylvania, and then they go out. And the two of us together, are bigger than a lot of those programs combined. So we're fortunate that, and we're growing. In fact, for FLL, I'm a 50 count ahead of where I was last year, and so is Ernie DeSico over in New Jersey North. So it is growing in this area, and clearly you folks are here to step your foot in and start coaching some of these explore teams. So we really talk mostly about the two programs. Discover, again, is for kindergartens, but that's mostly in schools. We have Challenge, which is for the 9 to 14-year-olds, and this is where the kids get to build robots and all kinds of things to help them get going. So it's really a great thing for a kid to, and I can't tell you all the stories I have about kids and how it affected them. What we've been talking about is Explore. And in PA East, even though in some things you might see, it might say 6 to 10-year-olds, a 10-year-old kid would be very bored with this. But it's 6 to 8-year-olds. And it introduces them to a whole world that they've never experienced. And this idea about science and technology and all these great things that they can see. Every year we have a mini challenge based on on annual FLL research. So First has gone and talked to all of these people in the industry, and it's what is it? Best in Show is the name of the season, specifically where Masterpiece. Okay, so they're going to get to explore, investigate, and design, build models made with Lego brick and moving parts. You're going to create a show me poster to tell me what you've learned, and then you're going to sit and at a review or at a festival, the reviewers will simply talk to them about what they've learned. Again, this season is called Masterpiece. They say it's STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, but normally it's STEM. But now they're looking at what it takes to actually, create some of these things that we get to see. All right. Um, you guys can read the screen. I'm not going to read the screen, but I mean, really, the whole idea is we want the kids to go out, learn about what it creates to make this stuff, go talk to experts, go out and talk to experts in it. For example, you might have a field trip with your kids. Imagine your 6 to 8 year old kids. You're going to go call up a movie theater and say to them, hey, we want to come when it's a good time for you guys. We'd like to take our kids up to see what the movie projectors look like. What does it look like up there? We want to see what the screen looks like. We want to learn a little bit about how you move the food through here. How does that work? Because that's all part of the experience of going to a movie, right? All right. So what is a team? A team is 2 to 6 kids, students, ages 6 to 8, at least 2 adult coaches. And one of the things we're pushing this year is the first youth protection program, protection checks that you guys have to do through first. And we want to make sure that kids are safe. So we've had some concern in the last year of some incidents at events where people who were unseemly were not the kind of people you would want at a children's event showed up unannounced because we said this is a great thing for kids, and all of a sudden we have problems. So we're trying to make sure that everybody is goes through the first youth protection background checks, and we might even have some more information from the first the Pennsylvania, what they call Act 153, which requires all volunteers in Pennsylvania to go through a background check. So there'll be more on that a little bit later. But your first youth protection checks will be required, and you can do those now. There is no technical experience required. It's going to be an adventure for you too if you in what you're going to be doing. The provided guides are going to walk you through 12 sessions, right? Providing 16 to 18 hours, 12 to 16 hours of guided activities for the teams. Teams made up of coaches who've done this for a number of years may not even use those, but this is a way to at least get you started so you understand what is going on. And these are actually guides that are used with our ClassPack products that teachers use in teaching this in classes in their curriculum. So you're also going to build and program your own presentation, your team's presentation, using something called Lego Spike Essentials Core Set, right? There's also something called the We Do 2.0 set, which you can still use, but it's been we haven't really had people use that for a while. So what this is a Spike Essentials kit that allows the team to do a couple of things with a small brick. I can show the brick here. I mean, it's really kind of small. Actually, this one has a bad battery. That's why it's sitting on my desk. And they can actually make their presentations or their objects move. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. You can attend a couple of Explore festivals to show off your work. And I think this season I'm going to get 3 invites to the championships. And so we don't have a championship thing going on, but I may put out a call towards the end of the season saying, look, I've got 3 open slots. If anyone is interested, there's a slot that you could use. So in that case, you would take your whole team to Houston, and you would go there and go through a Explore festival. But you would be doing it from 100 other teams around the world. So it's pretty exciting stuff, or maybe 200, I think it is, around the world. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so participation rules, teams rules, right? So one of the things I have out there is coaches required reading. And if you go to our website, I'm going to click this and I hope it's going to come up. Okay, so this is if you go up here to our website and you go to FLL Team Info, this is FLL Explore Team Info. And that's the page that I'm currently on. It just reloaded. Okay. And the way this works is it's got a bunch of topics. You can click this. Here's all the different topics you can go through. Here's coaches required reading. And what this is going to be is several sections that you can go through for different things, right? I want to, what I tried to do is bring all of the different things that you might have to do and bring them into like one place that you can easily go and get them. Now, that's not to say that there's not a whole bunch of information here, but there's for example, there's the First Mid-Atlantic Participation and Registration Process. That's a document that describes everything about what you're supposed to do with First Mid-Atlantic, how do you register, all that kind of stuff that you would be doing. All right. There's a checklist, but then there's the first seasons page. This first seasons page is created by First. I'm going to go to it real quick. And you scroll down, and since you're Explore, you're going to hit First Lego League Explore. And now there's all kinds of stuff that you may want to go look at so that you can get this for your teams, right? There's the how do you put the set together, here's your Explore set building instructions, Explore overview, engineering. We already have engineering notebooks, your team meeting guides. Some people ask at the end, participation and event certificates. I don't typically give out participation certificates because I'm not privy to anybody's name. So to have them printed up, I can't, there's no way for me to get them printed up. But teams go in and then create them for their children. So that's something that you can do. They will get a team trophy and a button for the season. I don't have a button sitting here, but I'm not going to be able to give people certificates. All right. There's also a seasons page. I don't know why First does this, but it's got two different things. One more talks about what registration is, how much things are, but we're going to go over some of that stuff. All right. Let me go back to my presentation here. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. So what does it take? So you can see the different things. A lot of you have already gone through this. If you're a rookie, the total investment is about $700. Now, the good thing is that that Spike Essentials kit, next year when you go to, eventually when you go to FLL Challenge, you can buy a Spike Prime basic set, not with the Essentials, and then you can add this to that, and you'll have a lot of the same stuff you would have had with just the Spike Prime kit. But this way you save that Spike Essentials core kit. Okay. Any questions so far? All right. Provided materials. You're going to get an Explore kit. Now you'll notice this says Playmakers. This was from a couple of years ago, but essentially the same idea. You're going to get two things to explain to you how to build all of these parts. They come in the box, and your kids are going to go off and build them. Okay, so that's your Explore kit. You're also going to get a team meeting guide, and you should get several engineering notebooks. You should get one at least for every 6 kids. There should be 6 kids on the team. You should get 6 of those. So the guide is going to be 12 lessons that you can follow. Again, you can follow it if you want. You don't have to. As I said, coaches who've done this for a while don't have to use it, but it's really, really up to you. Typically, an Explore meeting is probably going to be about 2 hours long to make sure that you can get through all of the material and get going. It's probably going to end up being like sports where you'll have snacks and whatnot, but it's really up to you how you want to run it. But one of the things, again, the other thing is that I think the fun thing is with the experts. If you can take your kids out to a local play theater that does plays, show them what happens behind, show them the lights, show them all of that. Again, this is something they've never seen. And I do believe that the people in those organizations would be glad to show them, as long as you explain to them what it is that you're doing. The purpose of the engineering notebook is to really have the child write their thoughts down about what they're doing. Okay, put their thoughts on paper. Sometimes we tell them, leave that book by your bed, and if you get an idea at night, get up and you can sit down and write it down and then go back to sleep. I mean, that's the kind of thing that real engineers do. But so that's for them. It's a keepsake. I mean, it's something they can use and go go back on and what they did. All right. So what does the Explore season look like? May, the registration opened. August the 1st, the challenge was released. In this case, in case of Explore, it's the game was released, or the season was released. During September through December, you're going to have weekly coaches calls. You can go look on the FMA calendar to the Let's Be Frank call. So if you have any questions, you certainly can come in. The 2 trainings I'm going to be doing, I don't usually do these earlier because I have to wait for the schools to come in. A lot of these teams are school related, and so we wait till then. On October the 9th, there will be the regional festival registration will open on the FMA website. I did send out a team blast, and in it, I said that a test opening would happen as starting Monday. So that has started. So if you want to go and go run through the registration system, you can do that. Go read the document, the registration and participation document, and it will tell you how to go about and do that. And it'll tell you how to do that. And you can go through that. And if you have any problems, call me or send me an email and I'll help you out. All right. It's better to do it now and run through the test. And later on, when we'll shut it all off, probably around October 6th, clean it all up and then open it again on the 9th. And in the world of Explore, it's not as crazy, but in the FLL Challenge, we might get 200 teams to come in the first 15 minutes. So it does get a little bit kind of nuts because everybody wants to get the event that they want to go to. You should go look at the festivals that we have listed and decide when, at least speak to your parents, which ones they would like to go to. And if you get in early enough, you can have no problem getting into that festival. Okay. Now, our festivals are going to be in December to January. In Northern New Jersey, they're going to be November to December. And you might say, well, why is the difference? The difference is that a lot of FRC teams, First Robotics Competition teams, run these events. And the ones that are running FRC teams, want to be done before January because that's when their season starts. In PA East, we have a little different situation. We have some organizations that help us run these that don't have that time constraint. They're schools or for whatever reason, they don't have that time constraint. So they go from December to January. All right, so what's a festival like? Now, these are usually just a half a day, is what it comes down to. You'll go through team registration, an opening ceremony, and then the reviewing will start. And what will happen is you'll take you'll have an order in which you're going to go see the reviewers. You'll bring your trifold, which has everything you've written about your subject, and you'll pick all of that up and move it to a reviewing room. And there'll be a couple of adults there, and they will simply ask your children questions about what they did. I think it's a 15-minute session, and all they're doing is just seeing if the kid is talking. Show me what you did, what you learn, and give the kid the chance to talk. Now, I think it's important. We want all of the children to talk, okay? And it's important that they don't step on each other. That's all about gracious professionalism. And I know it's hard to do, and we, obviously we let it go if it does happen, but and we will guide them. So if one child seems to be talking to, we say, okay, what do you think? What did you learn? And we try to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to talk. At 12:30, around 12:30, you'll have a recognition ceremony where there'll be a presentation of trophies, and they'll get their buttons. Essentially, these are trophies like best program or best this or best that or whatever. And there might be several that come out as best program. But um, the whole point is we just want them to be recognized for what they did. So when you're actually at the competition, you're going to have a pit area. So you will have a table where you will have all of your stuff. Um, and that mat you can see over there is a mat that comes with the kit. And it's a cardboard that gets put down, and you can put pieces on that cardboard. You don't even need to do that. If you want to get a giant Lego board, you can just stick everything to the giant Lego board. In the past, we had both. And so some teams will do it one way or the other. So you will take that thing in and set it all up, and then you will talk to the reviewers. Okay? Now, reviewers, quite frankly, we try not to, some kids sometimes where there's believe it or not, a man there, they don't want to talk too much. But we found that high school or older girls, the kids are very easy to talk to. It's just the way the kids talk. So you'll find all kinds of people there, and they will sit and speak to your children. And then they'll also see a piece. You can see he's got a tablet, and what will happen is he can actually hit that tablet to make the We Do or the Spike Essentials work. So maybe something twirls around or it does something, right? And we just want to see them. A lot of times the kids are so excited because this is the first time they've really seen programming. They're all about it, and they're like looking at it, and they wait for you to hit the button, and they can't, they just can't get enough of it. Okay, so that's one of the things they'll be doing. One of the things we do stress in all of our programs, all the way from kindergarten all the way up through high school, is something called core values. And it stems from the idea that, we don't want this to be a sporting competition where everybody is screaming in everybody's face and, calling them out and this, that, and the other thing. In the early days, that used to happen, but not anymore. It has completely changed. And it's happened because we've stuck to our guns to make it happen. We've also set it up so that teams share information. If you go to one of these competitions and from one team and ask the other team, "Hey, how did you do that?" They'll sit and explain it to you. They're not going to hide it. They will actually explain it to you, which is really cool, because then then it gives them a chance to talk about what they did, but then it gives everybody an opportunity to learn and be better. We've even had seminars where the kids are presenting on all kinds of stuff that they did, knew this, knew that, and whatever. And there's other kids in the audience, learning all about it. All right. The big thing is there was a gentleman by the name of Dr. Woody Flowers from engineering at MIT. He's no longer with us, but he was with FIRST from the very beginning. And he basically said, look, act at this thing, act in a way that makes your grandmother proud. And that's what we do. And I mean, if we get two people that are in a fight, we go, "Hey, is your grandmother proud of you?" You know what I mean? I mean, it's important, and it is very important. I mean, early on, I mean, I've been doing this a while. We had kids walking past another kid and knocking down their robot, and it breaks into a million pieces. And that never happens anymore. Not even close. And that's been for many years because we stepped in and made sure it didn't happen. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. We also are very big about spirit. You can make costumes. Many times you see my hair is the perfect for taking on all different kinds of colors, and I will paint my hair whatever team I happen to be with. And it's just really about fun. That's what it's all about. And so we want you to, think about that. Think about, like, look at those girls, right? They're all costumed together. I mean, and they come up with some great names. Who was it? The pink flamingo, something pink flamingos, and they had these great pink flamingo hats on. It was very funny. But that's what we do. We want it to be fun. We want them to be fun, and that having those same costumes on gives them a feeling of belonging with the other people. They're her people or they're his people. I mean, they're a team, and it really does help. Flair. I mean, we put on silly hats, we put on silly blinky things, You can see here, there's kids from one team coming over, talking to kids from another team. What'd you do? What's this? How does that work? I mean, it's really, really a great thing. High fives. Now, obviously, during COVID, we had to stop doing this, but I think we're getting back to it. But when the team is called up for their award, they form a high five line and they come down and they give high fives. Maybe we do high elbows. I don't know, but I mean, I don't know. They've really, the teams themselves and the people involved have been pushing to bring this back, and so I think that's about where we are now, and it just makes the kids feel good because they get to do their high fives. And if you have an Explore team that's at a FLL challenge competition, if it's at the same time, what they'll do is they'll stop the challenge thing from going on to give the explorers their awards, so the whole audience is there applauding. So there might be 600 people there clapping for these kids, and it's just a great way for these kids to feel what it's like to be appreciated. That's pretty much it. Anybody else got any questions? And again, you can go to FLL Team Explore Team Info at any time to get information about this. So I just want to say thank you. Have a great season. If you ever have any questions, come on to the Let's Be Frank calls, or send me an email or give me a call. All right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.